All right, so first things first. Let's go ahead and just say like, sub, comment, all that good jazz. And now the next thing is once again, I'm just trying to keep the content flowing consistently, but without burning myself out, but also without starving out without content. So this is gonna be changing it up a little bit, so I don't get too burnt out on my other what ifs because they're all kind of repetition sometimes. So this is going to be what if Vegeta was the main character, part 3. Now, how we're going to do this part is just a small recap. Future Gohan came with Trunks and Bola, and I'm just going to say that Trunks and Bola, they're pretty much like the same age, just Bola's a year younger. Since Vegeta, I'm going to say Vegeta did hold out against the androids a lot longer since he was already the main character, and then they did some training. And since Gohan didn't just lack on his training, he also had someone that actually knew how to fight teach him. So future Gohan was actually stronger in this timeline. So I'm gonna say that makes it to where he's able to survive longer, and he doesn't, automatically get whooped. Depending on how many views this get, and how many people say yes, I'll probably do a pass or like a part 3.5 or something for like the backstory or some shit, just so I can kind of make how that android attack happened for them and go into that nitty gritty. Okay, so now where we're gonna recap this, well, pretty much did recap, but where we pretty much left off is right before the androids came. Trunks, Bola, and Future Gohan, all of them decided to stay. Gohan was like, you know what, I could train my past self. And so what I'm gonna say end up happening is Gohan and them meet. This is just kind of like afterwards. Trunks, Pola went with Vegeta because they're Saiyans, and Vegeta holds Saiyans in a different, mindset because he's not just trying to kill them and stuff. So he went to go talk to them because, especially after Future Gohan went off on him, and I'll make a playlist just so y'all don't have to scramble and look for them. But so after that he talked to his kids and he trained them just to see how strong they were and all that good stuff. Also, Future Gohan and Normal Gohan, they're talking and stuff. He's talking with Piccolo. They're all on the lookout. The reason I'm gonna say they're all on the lookout is simple, due to the simple fact is that's kind of the place to be. And I would say Goku tries to talk to them, but I'm not gonna just say that just yet. I'm probably gonna save that for later on, because how I see it or how I want to make it is Goku died, but he watched the fight in Afterlife. He saw how strong Vegeta was. He saw his son eventually become a Super Saiyan. So everyone's good. Like everyone's good. They don't need me. Like he's not even being bitter about it neither. He's like, I came in, I helped for a little bit, but it looks like everyone else is pretty much good. The Earth is safe. The Earth has a new protector, Vegeta, and Gohan. So I'm gonna say that justifies them for not necessarily coming back. And it's not like people, obviously thought about bringing it back. And if I needed to, I would just say, like Krillin thought about bringing it up, like we can bring Goku back. I know for a fact with the Earth Dragon Balls that won't happen, and I don't remember exactly for the Planet Namek Dragon Balls. I'm pretty sure you couldn't, but I'm gonna say that he just comes in and say, "Nah, like, no, you're good." Or King Kai would come in and say, "Nah, I wouldn't do that." And while they're at the lookout, they start talking about like how they need to get stronger, faster, and then Kami would talk about you know he would talk about the time chamber. Everyone thinks about it. Gohan's like, wait, what? The time what? And what ended up happening is he learns about it and he's actually kind of furious because him and Vegeta would have been able to easily take out the androids, you know, if he knew about the time chamber. But the past is in the past. So these 3 years probably would pass by a little bit differently because The first year they would really the first year this is not in the time chamber because I want to put them in the time chamber like off rip, just off jump, like throw them in there androids. Woo. But I'm gonna say that Kami doesn't necessarily deem these so-called androids a threat. And also Krillin kind of pipes in with Tien and Yamcha and all them. Like, yeah, we could just destroy them, find them in the lab, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to say that the thought is brought up, but it isn't nailed on just yet, you know? Now, with these 3 years, Gohan is training, future Gohan's training too, obviously. Everyone's training, Vegeta's training with the kids, so Gohan go trains with Vegeta and all that good stuff. Future Trunks and Vegeta, they do some training too. Now, to give y'all an understanding of where the powers is at, Future Gohan is the strongest, while Vegeta is right under him. Then we got Future Trunks and Bulma, not Bulma, but Bola. They're kind of like equal in strength. I'll probably put Bola a little bit ahead for no particular reason, just because there's no special reason. And then I'm gonna also have the not future, but regular Gohan right there at the bottom. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, while they're training or whatever, King Kai does eventually get in contact with them, and they do use the Dragon Balls to, get from point A to point B. So they actually go do some special training, but instead of everyone going, it's Gohan, not Future, just regular Gohan, because Gohan wanted to talk to his dad and understand why his dad didn't want to come back, and this was the best way, because Gohan remembers during the Saiyan attack. Oh, damn it. He wanted to go talk to his father and, figure out why he left and all this type of stuff. Like, you could have came back. So, after this happened, I'm going to say Gohan's training with him for a while. Doing some good training with him. And now it would probably be about like 2 years in, so they got 1 more year left. And what I'm going to say is, Future Gohan got the humans to be a lot more involved in the training so everyone isn't, just completely lackluster. Gohan came for the last 6 months and went to all the humans and told the humans, like, gang up, boys. I got something to teach y'all niggas. And he also, told them to follow them, and they went back to Roshi's. And they all had a discussion. An important discussion. My videos are going to get split. Oh, my God. So this seems a little bit out of character, but what I'm going to say happens here is crazy. Gohan actually was thinking about something because him and Goku had a very unique talk, which I'll have a flashback about this later. So him and Gohan do that. Not him and Gohan. Gohan, talks to all the humans understand. For this last 6 months, they're training on that and that thing alone. Then the androids, pull up. They're not necessarily inherently looking for Goku, but Gohan's are the next best thing, and Vegeta. So when the androids pull up or whatever, we're going to just kind of say that, they pull up. The androids are bugging out, destroying cities. Everyone scouts out and flies off and tries to go kill them. I'm going to say that, this is what's going to happen. Tien and Yamcha says, they all look at like Krillin and stuff like, so who goes for who? And then Krillin's like, I want to try out my new move, but not just yet. I want y'all to go ahead. I don't really care about stealing the spotlight. They said, fine. Yamcha and Tien both walk away from each other. Looks at each other. All right, here we go. Gohan, Vegeta, and the whole gang's pretty much there at this point. They're like, what are they doing? Future Gohan, Bulma, and all. I'm going to say Bulma, but I mean Brawler. I just don't want to keep saying that. I'm going to say Future Bro. There we go. And so they look, and then they say this chant saying, Fusion. Ha! And then with a burst of blinding light, everything changes. The scenery changes, and boom. Come out, Tien, Yamcha, Yamcha, no, Yanchin, That's the best. That's the best I'm gonna get on the fly. So they come out and they're bursting with energy. I'm gonna say they're probably gonna be somewhere on par with Super Saiyan Goku and canon. That this is pretty much them at max. I justify this by saying, one, they have many techniques, and two, like they were training with like the likes of Future Gohan, normal Gohan, and very rarely, but it did happen, Vegeta. So they was doing some training, all right. So it wasn't like they were just sitting around being useless. Plus, during this time, they were still fighters anyways. So with Gohan there, future Gohan there, keeping them motivated and making sure they get strong, so the same thing doesn't happen to this timeline. I think I can justify it. Plus, with the fusions multiplier, I think I can make that. But I'm not gonna say they're above that. They're just that's kind of where they're at. So they pretty much he's going toe to toe with the ugly android, the Chinese looking one, and they're just throwing hands. But eventually, Tien, oh god, the fusion defeats the robot pretty easily. But I'm gonna say right before they go in trying to finish android Dr. Gero, they shoot a blast. The blast gets absorbed. They realize what's the issue. So they do a tri-beam Kamehameha, trying to finish off the job. And but then right before doing the move, throws the ki blast, throw a whole bunch of ki blasts around Dr. Gero, trying to like trick him. They use the after image technique, go in for a nice swift punch to the gut, punch to the face, grab him by the arm, and then rip. And then hit off near to some nearby mountains. Everyone else is like kind of like amazed at the power that this fusion's giving them. And then the fusion jumps over Vegeta. Everyone's kind of like watching, from a distance. And then he's like, all right, time to end this. Wolf Fang volleyball technique. And then he goes in, dives down, and then like right before he could finish the job, the fusion defuses. And then Dr. Gero sees this as like his perfect opportunity. Since he only has one arm, he kicks Yamcha, grabs a Tien, absorbs some of his energy, spreads beams and blasts everywhere, and runs to go activate the actual androids. So with everyone rushing out, everyone's like zooming as fast as they can, trying to keep them just like it is in canon. Dr. Gero runs, updates his data, makes the android stronger. Also, you got to take into account that Final Form Cooler was there, and Trunks, Future Trunks, and all these niggas was there too. So that's a little bit more energy than it should have. Now, after we get done with that, everyone's there. They're shooken. I'm gonna say instead of Trunks like just panicking and trying to blow it up, it's a little too late. They realize they couldn't get in time. The androids pop out the cut. And this is where things change way different than it did in canon. This is where things change way more than it did in canon. Okay, so we got it to where they can't do the fusion dance anymore because, obviously because of the time limit, right? So Krillin steps up and says, fuck it, I'm going to try my new transformation out. The androids are like, just, look at these niggas. They, get out Android 16, which he's the daddy of the group, right? So how this happens is man's powers up, like off rip. He powers up first, he gets buff, which everyone's slightly confused on, why he's getting buff. Why is he getting buff? And then when he gets buff, he immediately pushes out and then Then he says, Kaioken. But I did get this idea from like this one YouTuber. His name's like Dojo something. But he basically, I'm going to make the variation, but it's going to pretty much be the same thing. It's Kaioken, but like a transformation. But so instead of not being able to, use it for a long time and be able to actually do stuff and all that good jazz or whatever, we're gonna have it's to where he can actually use it a lot easier and a lot more longer. So he's able to push higher and use it for a lot longer and get more benefits from it instead of it just like, fucking him up completely like it did originally, because all key is it's really just your energy and more energy flowing out through your body than your body can handle. But if you expand your muscles in this given context, you'll be able to handle it a lot better. And so that happens. He powers up and then he charges up a super Kamehameha, and then he starts like, he blasts at the android. The androids get out of the way, but before they know it, all they hear is times 50, and then android 17 gets kicked down to the ground, basically creating a crater. Vegeta, Gohan, Future Gohan, they're all kind of surprised. Gohan slightly surprised this dude was doing. And right as that's happening or whatever, then we go on to where he like immediately goes to Android 18 and punches her, but like not too far, but like she gets punched pretty far. And then Android 16 comes into play where he's about to actually like ends Krillin's life, but Krillin jumps back, says, "Well, I gotta do it. Time 60." And then he does a super mega solar flare, blinding Android 17, not 17, 16. And then he says, "Ultimate move, Destructo Desk." And then like he pretty much cuts Android 16 in half. But when he does that, his move doesn't last so long, so he has immediately turned it back down to 20. Right now he's heavily injured, but he has a very good control of the fight. 20 is like kind of like his baseline. He can crank it up to like 50, but that'll start, draining down on him slowly. Then he looks down to see the androids, but he's confused because he don't see the androids. What's this green like thing doing? And then all you hear is, "Finally, at last I've reached perfection." And yeah, then Krillin's like, "Huh?" And Krillin goes in for the attack, but Vegeta, Gohan, Future Gohan, "Wait, Krillin, don't do it." Krillin slumped. Then the whole gang that can go Super Saiyan just power up and just attacks her, and like he just folds everyone instantly on baby, just slumped. But that's gonna be where I leave it at for right now. Sorry about the lack of energy, I guess. But that's gonna be exactly where I leave it at for here. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. Like, sub. If you somehow made it this far, comment down banana pie.